Hey everyone, this is Laura with We Met to Our Work and More, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of these really cute beaded bracelets. And we make these with recycled bangles. Now before we get started, here's a reminder. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you do get those reminders when we come up with new projects, and leave me your comments. Now the materials we're going to use today are a recycled bangle, and as everyone knows, I like to repurpose things if at all possible. We have got a variety of seed beads here. I have got a 26 gauge craft wire. Now if you went with a higher end bangle and wanted to go with silver, more expensive wire, then that is awesome too. But this is intended as costume jewelry, so I'm just using the craft wire. We have our wire cutters and our round nose pliers. And here's a couple of examples of a few other ones that I made leading up to this, and I think they're quite pretty. Now, taking our craft wire, I'm just going to pull out a length of wire, generally about an arm's length to start off with. Sometimes it's a little finicky getting it off the spool. And then I'm not going to cut it off. What I'm going to do is I am just going to put a little kink in the wire here, and that is just going to hold it in place once we start to wrap it on our bangle. So I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to wrap it 3 times, 4 times around the bracelet. And then I'm going to pop a bead on there. Holding the bead firmly. And these first couple can be a little slippery. Wire is nice and close up against that bead. Get 1, 2, 3 nice tight wraps. And you can take your pliers periodically and you can give those a squeeze just to make sure that they're holding nice and tight. So that was 3 wraps. I'm going to grab another bead, scooch it down close to our bangle, holding firmly. Making 3 nice tight wraps. With our wire. And we're going to grab another bead here. Scooch that up nice and close. Holding it firmly. So you can see the pattern here. And you don't have to do 3 wraps. You could do 2, you could do 5, you could switch up the beads so that you had different types, to create different patterns. It's entirely up to you. Now I've reached the end of the wire, that first stretch that I measured out, And now we will flip this over. And if you recall, I did not cut the length of wire off of this spool, but now we are going to. So I'm measuring 1 arm length, 2 arm lengths, just to be sure this gives us enough wire to finish this off. So doing exactly the same things. We want 3 winds, 1, 2, 3, after this bead, last bead, or it was our first bead, and then we continue on as we had. Now that we're reaching the end of our wraps that add our beads to this, you can see I've got just this little tail here, and that was our originating wire. Now I'm going to leave it long, and I'm going to continue to wrap with this wire and cover that up. So there I've got 1, 2, that's the 3rd wrap. I'll come around, I'll grab another bead, and I will scooch that on the top. And as you can see, that is now sitting on top of that little tail. So that's going to make sure that that is held snugly in place. And then we're going to give just a couple more wraps. That's 3. Grabbing 1 more bead and fitting that in there. Okay, so we're right back to where we started. Now we don't want to just cut this off and try and press it flat somewhere along here. We want to make sure that it's good and secure. So we take this wire, and what we're going to do is we're going to run it through the beads one more time, and just a couple of beads. But we'll bring it around, and we'll go through one more. Pulling it through the other side, nice and tight, and then I think we'll go through one more just to be sure, like so. Awesome. And then we're just going to cut this as close to our bead as possible. So then we just make sure that is not sticking out, that there's no pokey bits on here. Awesome. Well, there we go. So once again, this is Laura with We Met Wirework and More. And I sure hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I think they're really a nice way to jazz up some old bangles. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Hit that bell so you get the notifications for when we come up with other really cool projects like these ones. And leave me your comments because I really love to hear from you guys. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon.